Hey guys, welcome back to In This Season, where we're all about growing
and glowing
in each season. My name is Priscilla, also known as Elatam Priscilla, on the YouTube and Instagram
and TikTok.
and TikTok once in a minute.
I'm Zerida. Most of you know me as Epicurious Diaries on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yes.
You're watching In This Season.
Yes. Also, just to shout out, we are shooting at Inzo Media Hub, and this has been the most hassle-free shoot day we have ever had. So if you are a creative, we encourage you to check out this space on Instagram and on TikTok. So we'll dive right into the topic for the day. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. I'm great.
Yeah,
How are you
great.
doing?
I'm good. I'm high on energy. I could talk all day.
Yeah.
So the topic for today is about evolution. So of course our show is called In This Season, and one of the things that many people are asking about when we got married was would we change the topics? Well, how would we go about? And we assured our subscribers and our viewers that we'll continue having discussions on the season in which we find ourselves.
Yeah.
And currently you are 33, I'm 36, I'm grown.
I was
And
going to pretend to be 27.
well,
I'm joking.
yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking. We all know I'm okay.
Yeah,
with age.
and we have definitely we are not the same women we were 5-10 years ago. There's been a lot that has changed, and even in terms of these new partnered apps that we find ourselves in. So the topic for today is just to want to talk about how have you our bodies changed, how our friendships, lives, dreams, and all those things. So probably I'll just start with, of course, the easiest thing is bodies, very visible. Many of you on Instagram, you've been coming telling me congratulations. Me, it's just food and cuddles. You guys think I've been pregnant? No, my body has changed. Definitely. And I've gained a bit of weight. I've always been a petite girl, but who knew loving girls can actually make you think?
Yeah.
So
I think we underestimate what relationship weight is. Like it
it's
is
real.
such a thing.
It is.
I weighed myself the other day and I realized that I had gained 18 kilos since I met my husband.
Yo, and he loves to cook. He's been feeding you well, eh?
My entire gym bill is on you, babe. Not that it isn't already.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So definitely bodies do change.
Yeah.
And so just talk to me, how have your bodies changed since, probably in your 20s and now? Yeah.
So, first of all, contrary to popular belief, I was always a skinny girl. Yeah, I was. No, it's very shocking to someone that I tell that to now.
Yeah.
But throughout school, I was always a skinny girl.
Yeah.
And then I think I've probably first gained weight right after university, around 23.
Yeah.
Although I think that the woman hormones, which by the way are mostly
real thing,
responsible for a lot of your body change as you get older, started kicking in maybe around 18. And then everyone would just be like, oh my God. But looking back,
Yeah.
middle finger at all of you. But anyway, yeah, so around, my body started to change maybe around 22. I started being extremely cautious. I remember the first time I fitted in size 12 jeans. I was mortified.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I mean, coming
what
from an 8
in the fatness is this? Do you get?
Yeah.
I was like a 6 for the most part of my life, and
Yeah.
then A level came to 8,
Yeah.
and then you jump from 8 to
12.
size 12, and it was just like, what is this?
Yeah. And now
the slide from there was just like, I felt like at a certain point you just started to feel like when you look at a donut,
Yeah.
5 kilos.
Yeah.
You look at an ice cream,
Yeah.
3 kilos, And I've always been a foodie. I used to be an emotional eater. And so that was, and then at that time, it just felt like a complete loss of identity for me, coming from, when you've looked a certain way, the sort of ideal
Yes.
your entire life. I think that one of the biggest compliments I've ever received in my life. I kept hearing this was on my body. And then this one thing that is your entire identity.
Is all of a sudden very
If you ask anyone I went to high school with, I was the envy of literally everybody.
Yeah.
You know? And then this is you. It was my personality, it was my identity, it was my entire life. And then I woke up one day and it was
out, and it's no longer mainstream. Your body's no longer mainstream aesthetic.
Yes, and the thing is, it's not even over for lack of trying. I wasn't eating.
Yeah,
I was barely eating. If you know me now, you know my eating is
I mean, you don't
special.
Eat,
I barely eat. But it was just a thing. It was just time to change. You know, and it was really, 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 really difficult. I had to rebuild my entire existence from that. Divorce, that marriage between what I looked like, my clothes size, that used to stress me so much.
You've gone shopping. You're used to shopping in size 6, and now all of a sudden you're going in size 12, and you're like,
First of all, I shopped here in Kampala. Do not stock clothes after a certain size. I don't know why shops think that we're all the same size, and yet a majority of Ugandan women are oversized 14.
Yeah, they're quite curvy.
And so that was my first shock.
Yeah.
Coming from everything fits you, and then nothing fits. So you go to a few shops, everything you pick up, they say, you know? And then I just stopped shopping.
Yeah.
And so I went a few years just wearing leggings and
throws.
No, throws is now something that I like now. But when I was young, I used to wear big tops and leggings a lot because it just made life
much easier.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that, you know, like for me, my lower body is bigger than my upper body. And so jeans, when they fit around your hips and bum, they don't fit in the waist.
Yeah.
And so it was just like a whole thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did
I think I haven't had lots of body change. I was, when I was younger, I was a little bit thick, but also because if you looked at my sisters, they're like this. So I was very small, but I considered myself big compared to my
people
sisters
around you at that time.
So I've always been quite petite, very athletic, like a little boy literally. So I'm only experiencing my body changes now, and because my God, I'm like, babe, you fed me more like I fed myself. So I'm experiencing my body changes now. I have not had a bum. Like I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I'm curvy. Like
I'm sure Mr. M likes
Mr. M is
that.
enjoying it. He's enjoying. Like even now, like my bra size has gone up, you know, and I'm like, huh? I've it's just, and I don't like wearing bras. So I'm like, now probably am I going to have to wear bras? So now I'm in this thing of I can't wait to intermittent fast. I can't wait to gym it off because I've always, you know, it's like a shock. I'm like, I've not, the heaviest I've been has been like about 60, 65. And now I'm like maybe 68, 70. I'm like, yo, I might, you know, and yet my mom says I look really good.
You do look really good.
She's like, you look nice with that weight. That weight is not healthy. But because You're always used to one thing, and I used to wear like size 8 and 6. Now I'm wearing like 8, but 10 comfortably. You know? So I'm like,
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
just
straight uncomfortable.
Number.
Yeah. So now I'm like, wait, now my size will 6 things, because I used to wear 6 and 8. Now my size 6 things don't fit. 8 fit, but they're snug. So now I have to wear 10 comfortably. So it's that realization of like, okay, my body's actually changing. My hormones have changed, but also just away from just the physical, but also how have you, like in terms of hormones, I feel like hormones also contribute to you, you know, changing and all these things. And I feel like because we are in our 30s, they tell you fertility, when are you taking all these hormones, and they also just bump your weight and your physical, you know, gain a little bit more. How has it been for you?
So in terms of like the kind of hormones that you take for contraceptives, I don't take those. Never did. I tried in my early 20s the rapid, when I just got married the first time, 23. The weight gain was like this, and I just said no. So I only took them for maybe like 2-3 months. And decided that was not for me. But in terms of, I don't know that I used to experience, like for example, the extreme period emotions. All of that is hormonal. I think that I don't know what's happening with the hormones. It's just
It's doing its thing.
Yeah, it does do its thing, especially at certain periods of your life.
Yeah, but I also feel like you get more confident in your body.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like even if I have gained some healthy flesh, as my mom would call it, I still don't feel like I'm hiding myself. I still quite feel comfortable in my body. And I even feel like, okay, if I became caviar, because that's my, do you think if I became caviar, I would feel a certain way? Be like, no, I'm sure you would own it. And, you know, so I feel like as you get older, even if your body is changing, because you've also done the work to become more grounded, you are like, you know, it's what it is. And
it is what it is. Yeah, you learn to, so self-acceptance, I talk about it all the time. And it is such a powerful gift that you can give yourself. It is such a powerful gift. It applies to every area of your life. Because only when you accept yourself, not just the things, the wonderful things that are very obvious to everybody, but even those small things that you keep to just you, you know, the things that are not perfect, that are just that acceptance, you know, it changes your life.
And
it changes your life. It changes the way that you approach things. It changes the way that you carry yourself, and it just bounces off you.
It does.
It radiates.
It does. And also in terms of the greater, I remember reading a book, Brené Brown did a research, and she interviewed men, and she was asking the men, when doing physical intimacy with their partners, are they concerned about the fat rolls, the stretch marks, where the bum is looking how, the boob is looking how? And the men actually said, we don't really care. Like when we are in that moment, we want you with all of your fat rolls, your dimples on the bum, your, you know, holes looking how, like we want you. So I feel like when you're with a partner who accepts you as all of you, those things are not going to get in the way of physical intimacy. Because some people say, oh, my body, I can't open up. But if you're with a man who accepts you as you are, it doesn't really matter.
Actually, what stands out more is the hiding.
Yes.
You know, if every time you have to get naked, for example, you know, can't drop the towel. Now that stands out way more than the stretch marks, way more than the rolls. You know what I mean? That's what would stand out.
Exactly.
What's up?
Yeah, so just own your body. If you're in your 30s, your body has changed. You're like me, you have lavingos and you gained a few more kilos. Enjoy your rolls and own it. Yeah.
How much of this stuff do you think are pushed at us? Because I feel like there's so many standards that we internalize from the outside.
Of course.
You know, things like, you think that, let's say, when you're going to get intimate, you must be wearing, you know, matching underwear.
And I don't even wear those things.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So even our insecurities, like I remember how much we used to fuss about stretch marks like a decade ago.
And you know, in black skin, they don't even
see them anymore.
Yeah.
No, but I remember my first stretch mark. It was such a thing in the early 2000s. Stretch marks was such a
bio oil. Bio oil, sis. Bio oil because of a bio. Jesus.
And that's the thing. First of all, they're going to fade with time, just by themselves without the bio oil. But also, that was the thing at that
time. Also, which man is going to be there and you're naked before intimacy? Bring a microscope. Let me see where is the stretch mark.
I feel like the beauty industry is not pushing the stretch mark narrative anymore. We've moved on to a new imperfection, glass skin.
Because they need to make
money.
Now
we have 10-step skincare routines.
It's a commercialization.
The previous generation didn't have 10-step routines. Did they not have nice skin?
No,
they did. So they're always trying to find a new insecurity to push at us.
Yeah. It's all commercialization. It's all capitalism. It's all about making the buck. So they play on our psychology, on our insecurities, and they make it seem like if you're like this,
it's a catastrophe.
It is so wrong. In actual sense, there is men who love different body sizes. There's men who love women in their curvy spaces, men who love women who are thin. So each man should go where they want to go. And it should not make you feel like you must look like Kim Kardashian, or you must look like Zerida, or you must look like Priscilla, or whomever you consider is your, what do they call it, your body standard or your body goal. It's all capitalism, really. And because people need to make money, big corporations need to make money, Unilever needs to make money, they need to sell their products. So how are they not going to sell products? Ozempic needs to make money. They need to tell you need to lose weight, take the next Ozempic. drag, you
It's
know.
a little bit like how now suddenly there's one acceptable body type.
Exactly.
If you don't have a little waist and a big bum, what are you
But
even?
such, how did we get there?
No, but you see, exactly, because if we were meant to look the same, we would have been created the same.
So I feel like you have to intentionally divorce yourself from mainstream narratives and just accept where you find yourself. It's okay. What you should focus on is being healthy and not looking a certain way. Being healthy is the goal. If you're healthy, doctor says you're good to go, please, by all means, enjoy your body changes, own it, live it, dress it up. And we don't say that if you want to do something about your body, it's a thing. Do it if you want, but don't.
It shouldn't be because of the standard.
Yes.
Because when the wasp physique disappears,
Remember
and we
BBL?
go back to, because in the 90s you needed to have like a little boy figure.
Yes, exactly.
You know, very little calves, very small. You get.
Now we're on the skinny BBL. The big BBL has moved on. People are dissolving their bums, implants dissolving. A time came when the fillers, the big dark lips were. Let me not even lie. I loved that trend. I even was tempted to get some fillers in my thin lips. I'm like, oh, they look so cute, full. But now people are dissolving fillers. Yeah, and now people are going back to a skinny BBL where I have a little skinny bum. It's there, but not too there. Then, like, honestly, you will run mad if you are going to try to compare yourself.
Make yourself look like every trend.
Yeah, or feel bad for not looking like every other trend. Because, you know, life, body changes is a real thing and it's okay. So talk to me about friendship changes in your 30s. In your 20s, you know, I feel like in my 20s, big chidindi, hey, abana bepena. You're like, you know, mwena muje. And then as you get older, you become more selective. The circle narrows down. You start putting people in drawers. And I mean, what has that been experience for you?
I've never been a group person. I've never belonged to a group of friends actually. I've always been a more one or two few close friends, but I do realize that it was much easier to make friends when we were younger because a lot of our friendships were based off of very superficial things. You know, you find that a lot of the things that bonded us at that time were very superficial.
School.
You know, so there were a lot of convenience friendships because you went to the same school or because you
live in the same estate.
You work at the same job or you spend a lot of time at the same place, that you go to the same hangout joint. So you find that many of them were convenience-based friendships. And so you find that as life changed and as circumstances changed, a lot of what held you together wasn't there anymore. You know, so that's definitely what I find I used to be one of those no new friends kind of people, and because of that I found myself holding on to some friendships that were toxic, friendships that really where let's say you were friends with a person, they were not your friend, you know, because at that time we thought that it was
length of time
over the actual quality of, you know, are you supported in this friendship? Is it two-way? Even just the fact
is it reciprocal?
Because you should be pouring
into each other. That's
but
true.
when you'd assess some of these friendships, you'd notice that
the very one-sided
was one way, you know, and those are some very painful L's to take. Another thing that has changed now is back then my cutoff game. You know, I don't like the way you looked at me. Cut off. You know, and my perspective on that also changed because I realized that you can, first of all, compassionately disassociate from some things. You know, you can reassign roles and responsibilities.
That's true. That's true.
You know, I hope that I can talk to you about everything, but let's say emotional conversations are not your thing. Does it make you a bad person?
No.
I just won't give you the emotional conversations.
But we'll share memes all day. Because that's the thing.
Fine. And then there'll be this other person that I can talk to about my emotional things, or you know that, let's say, this friend can't keep a secret. They're going to share your business on the street. How many times must you experience it before you learn?
Exactly.
That's just how that friend is. maybe they have poor impulse control. Maybe they're trying to be picked.
Yes,
for
exactly.
other people to like them.
Yeah.
For some people, it's as simple as that. That's the currency that they use. They know that, this person really wants information about this one friend.
Yeah.
So
I'll
you
give
trade
it
that for
whatever.
acceptance, approval, or being let into with that person. And you know that, okay, so that person, they won't know my deep stuff.
Yeah.
But not necessarily cut them off.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has definitely changed. Whereas in my 30s, I am finding that a lot of you can bond with people over shared activities, but also a friend doesn't need to be 360.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not able or they're not in that space,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
So we can meet over a shared hobby and
it's okay.
have that in common.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and then we have that in common. Priscilla and I go for poetry nights, so when we meet, we exchange poetry books, that kind of thing. And then I have this other friend, Maria, who likes to travel. So let's say every time I travel, I bring her this one little thing from
Magnet.
that country, and it means something to her.
Yeah.
It might not mean something to Zerida because that's not her thing, but you know, so that
compartmentalizing your
friends, compartmentalize, and also it really helps you just reduce the pressure. Because I feel like when we're in our 20s, you would carry all your expectations
on one human being like
them
this.
On one person and forget that they are also just
they're also
human.
And also they're just a girl doing life.
Just a girl doing life. And also there was no manual. We didn't know what we were doing.
Exactly.
How has your...
That's true. I think similar to yours. I think also the compartmentalization, but also I think when I was younger, I sought so much, not validation, but before I make a decision, all of us in the group need to know. Board of directors, all of governors, when I'm trying about, and everyone has a word to say. And what do you think about this? Some guy, I remember at the time a guy was vibing me and was thinking of should we date or not. We collected all of us. What do you think about it? Me, I think this. Me, okay. So and I feel and I did that so many times. But then as I've gotten older, I don't it's okay to have insight. I can talk about it, but most times it's not a case of I want your opinion. I want I'm seeking a permission from you. You get. So I felt like I was permission seeking. So when I was much younger from my friends in my in my groups, and I feel like that fosters a codependent relationship. When you're always, hey, what do you think? Hey, I tell this one. Hey, I tell that one. So I don't do that anymore. But I think just like you, but also I think I've also made peace with the fact that friendships evolve and friendships change. I think those when we're younger, we feel like the way it is, the way it should be, and always.
And then that becomes so difficult when life is changing and the friendship is changing, and you're trying to hold on to it as
it was. So I've made peace with the fact that friendships evolve, friendships end, and it's okay. It doesn't make the person a bad human being, or it just means that your season with them has simply ended. And all changed. But also I think I'm more gracious to my friends now. I also know that you don't have, I think I used to think that you must talk every day for you to be a good friend. That was one of the measures. But I'm like, now life has happened. I'm so busy with my family. I may probably not be able to talk to you all the time, but yet I can be there when you need me. And so I think that is a way it has changed. But coming back to now, you're married in this season of family and marriage and living. How do you see, how have your friendships changed? Because by the shower, stay away from single girls. They're not good. Basaleko. How has it changed for you now as a married woman?
You know what? I don't think my friendships have changed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that my friendships have changed at all since I've been married.
Yeah.
Because I know all those myths of now when you're married, you should only be friends with single people. Or when you're married, you need to only be at home with your husband. First of all, it is completely unrealistic to expect that your partner is going to fulfill all your roles.
Exactly.
You understand? We are a product of community, and so we need community. In fact, even more when you're married, because it lightens the burden on this one person. You can't, for example, if you chose to cut off everybody, then he's going to be the one who has to listen to your stuff. He's going to have to comfort you emotionally all the time.
It's too much.
And also different people have different capacities. The same way in your normal life, you have a friend that you talk to about career, because they'll understand.
Exactly.
You understand? You're not going to go talk to your least ambitious friend about career, because
it's not their
they're
thing.
going to give you advice from not from a point of experience or from, you understand, and that's fine, So we all have all these different people who fulfill different roles in our lives to make you feel like a supported human.
Yeah.
So sort of bamkwatirako, they're helping him, they're supporting you.
Yeah.
So I haven't, of course now time allocation is different, but I am aware of the fact that I do still need my community, and because of that I have to make time to still
spend time with your girls and your friends,
my girls,
and
because
your
you
boys.
feel it's like therapy.
Yeah, it is.
You come
It
and you
is.
sit. There are times when, especially now for us, I'm newly married. We're in the same season pretty much. So sometimes when we sit down and we chat, it's like we're in the same marriage, in different, you understand? So a lot of things feel less heavy,
yes, because
less
it's shared
and alienating, less, and then you realize that actually
it's not a big deal.
This is a common problem. This is a common issue. It's just something that happens.
Exactly. It's not a big deal. Exactly. I get it.
Yeah.
Same.
How have your friendships changed?
I think same. I think like just like as you said, my partner is quite open, and we encourage each other to pursue and still nurture our independent friendships. But I also wanted to ask about because I know there was a pressure. Is there a pressure between you guys for your friends to be friends with your partner? Is that a thing that happens between you?
No.
Or you're like, my friends are my friends, his friends are his friends, and those who may get along with him, well and good. But there's no pressure for you to say, because I feel like there's that thing of my husband should be friends with also my friends.
I don't even vouch for that. Go make your own friends. Stay away. No, first of all, I don't even believe in that school of thought.
Yeah.
Why not other friends? Why must my husband
but
be your
I had even
friend?
forgotten. Why did I even ask that question? I even forgotten
What
the boundaries thing.
There are not enough friends in the world. What is it? However, if your husband is friends with my husband, great.
Yeah, me too.
Great.
Yeah,
because they
totally.
also have not to compare.
Yes,
that is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But we're chilling and I'm hearing him on the phone with you talking what? Unless you're planning my surprise birthday party, you have no business.
Talking big friends.
It's one of those things that's really not necessary.
That's true.
Like if someone can explain to me what the reason
unless
is.
They were friends before you guys met.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But if they were not, like there's no explanation that feels good enough.
That's true.
Me, because there's so many people in the world. Go make other friends. What about you?
Amazing. I know, me too. I mean, my friends. Those who are friends with him are friends with him. Those who are not, it's okay. Yeah, so there's no pressure on that. Coming to the last segment.
Does it make you feel nice? Like, oh, my friends get along with my man.
It's not really a thing that I require. My husband also loves his own space. I don't also want to push him into my space all the time. So if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, I'm cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's people he feels comfortable around, and that's fine. Yeah. So it's not a thing of, oh my God, you must. So it's okay.
Yeah, same. Like when we get invited places.
Yeah, if he comes,
if he wants to come again, because you naturally move, are more drawn to certain people.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
in some spaces, he
So others will be like, oh no, I'd rather not. So I don't. You must. These are my friends. You must become friends with them. No. See, it's not by fire, by force. No, yeah. Coming to our last segment of the show. Let's talk about dreams. How dreams change from 20s and 30s. I know that now. You're in your season of marriage and blah 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 blah. We are in a season of marriage. So how do you feel like your dreams changed from before and now?
Again, my dreams in my 20s were very superficial. I just wanted to travel, shop without a budget, just go see the world, do all these things. It was more about adventure at the time. And now I'm just thinking in terms of longevity and building actual wealth, and you know what I mean? Which is why now my priorities in my 20s, spend. How fast can you finish your money? How quickly? It was like, I feel like my talent in the previous decade was
spending money.
Money. I could finish any amount of money in record time.
And now
I hold on to my money as much as I can. In fact, it's very hard to make me part with my money. I'll think like 50 times about it. Do I need to? And chances are in the end I'll change my mind and decide not to. So I feel like that nature of my dreams now, the things that I dream about and the things that I'm interested in, working towards it. Now I'm thinking about longevity. How do we add on? How do we, as opposed to before, where it was like today, life is today until bedtime.
No, nothing. I feel like for me, I've always been a career girly. That hasn't changed. I mean, I feel like people keep saying, "Oh, when you have a child, it will be different." I don't know. I don't know.
People for whom that has not changed.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know. Maybe it will change, maybe it will not. But for me, I think that have my dreams changed? No. I have
a focused girl.
Yeah, they haven't changed. I have always wanted to scale the corporate ladder, and I still want to do it. I have always wanted to see the world, and I'm doing it. My dreams haven't changed. In fact, they have just been solidified. Yeah. Because I was so clear when I was young on what I wanted my 30s to look like. And I told myself I want to marry in my 30s after I've eaten all my money. So now that I'm married, it has just solidified. And so for me, my dreams haven't changed. I think maybe what has changed was living in New York. I had a dream to live in New York. I pursued New York with my heart in 2014. Like this, 2015, New York. I never knew the song. Every time the song would play, I'd be like,
that's me.
That's
my
me.
anthem.
I'm manifesting, I'm faithing. It didn't come. And I have since moved on from big cities. Yeah, like being resident. I can work in big cities, but like my forever retirement home won't be in a big city. So I think that's where I have moved back to being a country girl, being a farmhouse, a villager basically. Countryside is just making it seem nice, just a villager. So I think that's the only thing that has changed.
And you feel like your priorities have changed?
My priorities in terms of
your life priorities?
My life priorities have stayed the same. They've stayed the same. It's always been about making as much money as I can, success and family and God. Still the same. I wanted to give my mom the life of her dreams. She has it. So nothing has changed.
I love it.
Like when we were talking, I was thinking, okay, in my 20s, I didn't even have much money to spend. So unlike you who could spend, I didn't have much money to spend. So it was a case of I need to work hard and get my life on track. So it was I need to work hard and get a home. I need to work hard, and so most of it I have like my vision plan of like 2018, how many years. So nothing has changed. And I feel like people say in your 20s that you can blow money whenever you do, but you don't have to. If you're so clear on what you want your future to look like, it's okay to actually right from the beginning set it on course.
That's true. That's true. That's absolutely true. You absolutely don't have to blow through your money just because they say it is. It is.
Exactly. So parting shots as we live. I mean, for someone who, I know that for many people on the cusp of 20s, it's very scary. I know many people will be like, oh my God, I'm 27 turning 30 in my DMs. What, I don't know, and so there's that fear of coming of age. There's the big 30, that big 3-0.
I was so excited to turn 30. I had 3 celebrations. I was so excited.
So unlike you, for many people it's scary. For me, I feel like my 35th scared me. I was like, why did the years go? So I feel like even happening, I'm like, I'm 36. I'm just a girl. So I feel like I'm having my hold the chair moments. I'm like, what? I'm coming towards 40. What? Like, I think 40, I may freak out. But for those who are turning 30, for them right now, it's very scary. So what would be your parting shot to someone who is 27, 28, on the cusp of turning 30?
Well, one thing that is for certain is that life changes. Life changes. That's just a reality of it. So I would say that don't be afraid of change. Embrace it. It's just something that we can't avoid. So all these changes, whether it's your body that will change, or your dreams, or your relationship, or your life, your living situation, don't be afraid of that change. I receive messages on Instagram from girls who, let's say you moved out of home, and then let's say your job situation has changed and you need to go back home. Don't be afraid to do that. One thing that is promised to us in this life is change. So that would be my first one. The other one is, if you're afraid that you're going older, you are not. Life is so long. And things, it's just like this. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, and there's still plenty of time ahead of you to achieve the things that you want to. Although the quicker you get on those goals, the easier and better it will be. So mainstream media and all of these things have us thinking that we have plenty of time, which we do, but people who started earlier, working towards their dreams earlier, have an easier time getting forward than, you know, people who, those of us who, let's say, prioritize
different things at that
different
time.
things. So you can't start now. Don't
Yeah.
think that because you're in your 20s, the only thing you need to focus on
Is
is
enjoyment.
starting. If that's what you're doing, great. It
Oh,
will still work out.
only.
It will still work out. It will still work out. But if you have a chance to get started, also get started.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah,
by all
because
means.
what happens is when you're a little bit older, you're panicking, you know, and that panic, the decisions you make when you're panicking or you're less patient, it's easier for you to feel dejected or to feel like, that disappointment, like things are not happening. And yet I feel like when you're younger, you're not in a hurry. So you can apply, and what works out, works out.
Yeah.
You can experiment. You can, let's say, you have the liberty to go do internships that will place you in the rooms you want to be because your burdens are not as big or as costly. That changes a little bit as you get a little bit older because your responsibilities change and it starts to feel a bit like you're in a hurry. It might not be the actual case, but you might feel like it.
Yeah.
And so disappointment kicks you a little bit more when you're older.
It's even rejection is a bit more painful.
Yes. So if you can try and open those doors, get your foot in when you're younger.
Yeah,
much better.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I think I remember how this was I think 2017. How old was I then? Okay, I was old of course by then, but still I was still I think in my 20 something. Late 20s. I watched a video by a lady. Actually, she's the owner of Centonomy. At that time, Centonomy was not what we are seeing now.
Yeah.
She had a shaky actually. She had a show.
It was there, 2017.
Yeah, it was there a long time ago. She had it with Caroline Mutoko, and she was talking about the time value of money, and she was talking about money in your life in your 30s, 20s, and what. And that time, I remember they said if you are able to own a house, if you're able to start investing, to start saving in your 20s, by all means do it. And I remember that light bulb moment that went on because we're earning on okay. That's when I went and bought my first piece of land. I was like, what? Actually, we've been sleeping. So I feel like in your 20s, there is a myth that, oh, you can just enjoy. And it's okay to enjoy. It's very advisable. However, if you have the privilege to earn a little bit more than what an average Ugandan in their 20s earns, by all means maximize in terms of investments, in terms of saving, in terms of also just financial wellness and financial knowledge. You know, learn your negative money patterns. Me, when I was young, even up to now sometimes, I spend when I'm sad. Like I will shop, swipe. When I've had a bad day, life is short, you live once. So you need to know
who makes the money, then scholar.
Right? So you need to know how your money language when you're young. But also you just need to make peace with like sometimes you dream so much and you get disillusioned. Like when will it happen? How will it happen? I don't know. Just put your foot, keep putting one foot forward and don't give up because you can look at people who are going ahead of you like they have it easy, but I feel like this generation of 20s have it amazing. You know why? I feel like the information they have at their hands, that internet is
easier for
buzzing.
You to see what's possible,
exactly.
even if they're not immediately around you, which was the case before.
Exactly. There's so much opportunities online, so many opportunities. I mean, look at the people who are shooting behind us. I'm sure are much younger than us, and they're doing amazing work. Yeah, those are things that when we were younger we never had. You had to be the lawyer, a doctor. Like options were very limited, but now the options are so vast and so diverse, and I feel like people should just lean into it.
It's an easier time
to dream, yeah. Because those days, if you either had to go to the US to study, now you can study online. You can take over what AI courses. Like there's so many things.
You don't need to know someone to get a scholarship.
Exactly.
You have access
to yeah. So I feel like there is a lot of opportunities for you guys in your 20s that you should not in any way feel limited and feel discouraged about where you find yourself. Life does change, but it gets better. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe, like, comment, and leave us some encouragement in the comments below. Yeah?
And share with a friend.
Okay.
Don't forget that part.
Also follow us on Instagram in this season. Yeah. We have some nice engaging content on there.
Yeah.
Okay, ciao. Bye.
You're watching in this season.